Welcome back to another episode of Drink Tales. And today, dry January is done. We are in February. It is time to drink again. Woo! Alright, and so how you feel? I feel good. I feel better with some of this whiskey in me. Because, ever since we started putting up those dry January videos, our YouTube feed, YouTube feed was coming across, and all of these different videos talking about the things that happen to your body when you stop drinking alcohol for 30 days. And I'm like, I felt nothing. Yeah, I didn't feel anything. So the only thing that happened to my body is it wanted alcohol. But in all seriousness, for people who do dry January for the purpose of, I guess, cleansing themselves and, getting back on the right track and
you
stuff.
are the real hero.
Yes. And if I'm being fair, it was pretty good. I mean, it's not like it was a struggle. We don't drink heavily like that anyway, to the point where we need it. But if you are a person who struggles with alcohol, then you should get help. Mm-hmm. But with that said and done, the only struggle we have with alcohol is certain bottles that we can't get open. Mm-hmm. But not Jameson, because we know how to pop the top on a Jameson.
No, it's not.
But not yet. Since this is the first drink post dry January, I wanted to stretch my creative juices a little bit.
Okay.
So remember a couple of weeks ago, a couple of episodes ago, where we were talking about simple syrups?
Yes.
And I made a simple syrup that consisted of chai spices. The spices you would require to make the flavor that we as Americans know as chai.
Right.
But in its country of origin, as it were, it's just tea.
I remember that.
And I said I had an idea for it. I actually have a couple of ideas, and I'm gonna go through with the first one right now. And that's to see how this would do in an old-fashioned style drink. Now, if you guys know how to make an old-fashioned, it's the most famous cocktail out there. You got your sugar cube or a half ounce of simple syrup for those that don't want to take the time to do the sugar cube. Your bitters, your whiskey, which could either be bourbon or rye, or just whatever favorite whiskey you have. We're using Jameson today. Or hell, some of you guys like to go out there and make it with rum and all of that other stuff. But we're sticking with the basic beginning old-fashioned recipe.
Right.
Spritz a little orange peel on there, and you got yourself an old-fashioned. Maybe you top it with a cherry. Who knows? Who knows how you're feeling? We're not gonna go through all of that.
What about a Wisconsin old-fashioned?
In Wisconsin, a specific part of Wisconsin, you take your orange slice and your cherry, you muddle it up into a paste, and with the sugar and simple syrup, it's not made like the original old fashioned.
Okay.
I'll just put it like that. And that's not to belittle that particular cocktail recipe, because they do things like that up there, and everywhere else in the country they do the old fashioned like this. Unless you request it somewhere else in the country, then a bartender will do that for you. But yeah, old fashioned. I just went through pretty much how you would make one. Today we're going to do one, but I want to see what this tastes like with the chai syrup.
Okay.
So, usually you start off with your sugar cube, but we're using the simple syrup. And we're going to each have one.
Okay.
To commemorate the first of the month. So we'll each get a ½ ounce of simple chai.
Because it's been sitting for a while. Sticky.
It's actually a 2-to-1 ratio. So it's gonna be thick like that, thick and syrupy like that. But if you notice, if you're looking at it, it's one of the reasons why people just cut the middleman out with the sugar cube, because your sugar cube, once you put the bitters in there, it's going to end up looking like that at the bottom of the glass anyway.
Right.
So, why go through all the trouble of trying to stir that sugar cube in there? And that's not to say you shouldn't do the sugar cube. Like, sometimes it's best to stick with tradition, for the sake of. As far as the bitters are concerned now, our chai syrup has flavors, has spices in there that pair well with cardamom. So I think I want to use cardamom bitters. But I want to pair it up with another bitters, and I don't know if that should be Peychauds or Angostura. Whiskey barrel aged cocktail bitters. You know what? Let's go with the Peychauds.
Okay. So why are you pairing two different bitters up? Is this just a spin?
Just to spin it a little. Okay. We'll do 1 dash of Peychauds. That's a wheat dash. Well, 2 dashes out of this bottle. Because the cardamom is gonna pull some anise flavorings with it. We'll do. I'd say about a good dash, but it should be 2 dashes of the cardamom. I don't want to put too much in there and ruin it. Okay. Your ice. If you have the ability to do so.
What are you doing?
I'm wondering if I should stir before I put the whiskey in there or after. Let's do it after. I'm probably building these wrong. It's been a minute since I've done it like a straight up old fashioned. You do the others first. I'm losing a lot of ice. There you go.
No. Should I wait for you or?
I mean, it would be rude if you did.
Smells good. A lot of flavors going on in there.
And of course, I don't have a orange, so I don't know. I probably should have prepared for that. I had time, but me, working man and whatnot. If you guys subscribed we had enough subscribers, then I could do this as my day job. And then I could remember such things as, picking up an orange.
Is the orange necessary?
For that spritz, yeah. It's like it adds to the flavor profile. Okay. And there you go. I also don't have cherries either. We're short on cherries.
Okay.
Pretty good. Got a lot of flavors going on in there. Yeah, that chai does something.
Mm-hmm.
It really spices. Now I'm upset that I didn't put the orange in there.
Yeah, the orange probably would have made it. The orange probably would have made a difference. But this is good too.
And I think the Jameson was wrong.
No, I was saying the first drink.
Yeah,
first
no.
drink of the new year.
This feels right.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you can never go wrong with Jameson.
Yeah, this pairs well with all of those. I didn't think that would. Not that I didn't have faith in it. It's just that I'm surprised by how well it mixes with those flavors.
Mm-hmm.
So my alternate idea with this was to use pineapple bitters.
Mm-hmm. But you couldn't find it.
Yeah, I couldn't find it, and it was so obscure because pineapple is also a flavor that goes well with the spices that you find in chai.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't find them. I couldn't find the bitters. It's such an obscure thing. Like, you would have to order it from the internet, or if there's a store that exists, we'll say in Georgia, because it's probably one in the United States, but in Georgia. If there's a store in Georgia that exists that specializes in different kinds of bitters,
that specifically has pineapple bitters,
that's where I would find it. But you know what? I'm glad I went with the mixture that I did, because I feel like the pineapple would have been too bright for flavors that. So like, I feel like the spices that make up the syrup, the chai, as well as the cardamom and the Peychauds are deep flavors, as it were.
Yes.
If that makes any sense to you.
yes.
So yeah, I think this is a win. You guys should try this. You guys should make some of this syrup and then try it for yourself.
I do like a good drink to come back on. And with that said, that'll do it for this episode of Drink Tales. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so that you're notified of all content coming to the channel. Also, check us out on Instagram, check us out on Twitter, check us out on Facebook, and be sure to share our content all around.
Exactly, because this February and moving forward, we're gonna have a lot to do.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a lot of
Fun.
Yeah, and if you also participated in Dry January and you're coming back off of Dry January too, take it easy. Don't rush out to the nearest bar and drink everything.
Exactly.
Ease your way into it, like we did. This is literally our first drink.
Exactly.
Our first drink of the new year. So with that said, that'll do it for this episode of Drink Tales. And until next time, everybody, peace.